Colossians 3 verse 2 reads, "Set your affections on things above, not on things on the earth." Colossians 3 verse 5 says, "Put to death what is earthly in you, sexual immorality, impurity, passion, evil desire, and covetousness, which is idolatry." So, earthly things and things on the earth refers to sinful behaviors, desires, and activities. It is these things that we ought to reject in favor of the heavenly things, that is, things above. A similar verse we find in Philippians 3:18 to 19. "For many, of whom I have often told you, and now tell you even with tears, walk as enemies of the cross of Christ. Their end is destruction. Their God is their belly, and they glory in their shame with minds set on earthly things." With these key verses as a background, I want to draw your attention to the final days of Gideon. Thomas Huxley stated, "A man's worst difficulties begin when he is able to do as he likes." Gideon went for war with 300 and they were triumphant. The enemies of Israel were subdued and they were free to work. Israelites wanted Gideon to rule over them as king. But Gideon told them, "I will not rule over you, nor will my son rule over you. The Lord will rule over you." Judges 8:23. Gideon pointed that in the right direction by saying, "The Lord will rule over you." Scripture tells us that the Lord allowed Saul to become a king over Israel only because they rejected their God. 1 Samuel 10:17 to 19. So the truth Gideon spoke was an eternal truth. But Gideon did have one request of the people: gold. He asked for an earring from each man from their share of the plunder. The Ishmaelites and Midianites wore gold earrings, necklace, and other fine jewelry. Gideon wanted a piece from each man. The men responded with a resounding yes. It was the least they could do for the warrior. Approximately 50 pounds of gold Gideon collected. Although he rejected being the king, he was wanting to live as one. Judges 8:27 reads that Gideon made the gold into an ephod, which he placed in Ophrah, his town. It was not an image of a god, or it was a golden calf idol that Aaron made. Ephod is an outer garment generally worn by the high priest when making an enquiry of the Lord. It rests upon the shoulders of the priest. The reason he made it is not certain, but Gideon may have wanted to remind the people that he was the one who led them in the defeat of the enemy. Judges 8:27 reads, "And Gideon made it into an ephod and placed it in a city, even in Ophrah, and all Israel played the harlot with it, so that it became a snare to Gideon and to his household." All Israel started worshipping the golden ephod instead of God. When Gideon's mindset shifted, it caused him to sin, and he led the whole nation to sin. So let's be warned from this that we ought to be watchful where we set our affections and mind, because that will direct our steps and lives and the lives of our families, either for a blessing or a curse. Let's grow to possess a heavenly mindset that be fixed on Christ. Be blessed.